What's happening here? What is this?
This is for marketing. It's door hangers.
Okay.
Has absolutely nothing to do with roofing. So the people don't think we're trying to sell them something. We have two offers we're testing. One is a free wind mitigation, which everybody in Florida for insurance purposes has to get once a year. Typically they got to hire somebody and pay them. It's usually around $375 to do this report. We like to do it because we can recommend, hey, in the future, if you are gonna re-roof, you know, there's different ways and different things you can do to strengthen your roof to receive additional discounts on
How much are we
insurance.
talking about additional discounts?
$50,000 over 25 years. I can break down the numbers for you.
Really?
I know it inside out.
So if you do, you mentioned earlier nails in the straps, hurricane straps.
Right.
Guide me through the process. So if I have two nails right now.
So in Florida, right now, if the house was built pre-1988,
Okay.
it may have a strap, it may not. If it doesn't have straps, that's a huge discount adding them.
Okay.
The houses, some of them only had two nails. So to me, it's an insurance company thing. They don't want to give the discount unless you have a third nail.
Okay.
So you got to remove the plywood, add that third nail into the straps. They receive significant discounts. You can add a double strap, which is even more of a discount. So
Wait, how much per year? How much job cost and how much discount per year?
So okay, that's a good question. It's a loaded question. So the average customer for us receives more than $1,500. We like to undersell, over deliver.
Sure.
So
$1,500 in discounts, and how much you charge to add?
So there's I just won a job recently because of that exact question. If you read the code, it says a contractor can charge up to, but no more than 15% of the total job to do this.
Okay.
All right. I had a customer, this was last week.
Yeah.
He says, yeah, I need the straps. My insurance company's dropping me unless I do it. I actually didn't need the straps. He only needs the third nail. And he's tongue and groove. He says, and I read the code. These guys are all charging me $6-7 grand to do this. So I knew I had him. I was like, so wait a minute, all you need is the third nail. I said, all we got to do is remove one board of tongue and groove and shoot a nail in there. I said, I'll charge you $1,000 for the whole house to do it. He's like, where'd I sign? Signed him up right then and there because everyone was trying to, now if it's an insurance job, insurance will pay up to 15% of the total job. But retail, I mean, it doesn't cost us that much money to do it. You know, you're adding a nail to a strap that you know where the wall is after you overhang, remove the wood, add the nail. Significant savings though from insurance.
What is HEPA AC filter?
So a HEPA filter will even, it's an upgraded filter. We'll even filter asbestos, things like that.
Sure.
So in times of COVID, you know, we're offering a free HEPA filter for their house.
Oh, you're talking about that AC filter.
This goes in their AC, but
like
it's a HEPA
30
filter.
bucks. Yeah.
Right. So they fill out the information, we capture their information, we'll drop off a free filter, hopefully knock on the door, they're there. If not, there's another QR code on the HEPA filter, takes them to the next video. But we have their information and now they're in our newsletter. Now we're following up. Now here's a free pre-hurricane inspection. A hurricane hits, we have all their information. The wind mitigation, a hurricane hits, we know if they need the improvements or not. We can make a big difference. So,
Love the idea.
yeah, $1,500 over 25 years, $37,500.
Did you get any jobs from it yet?
We started this last week. So
keep me updated.
We're doing 1,000 of them. It's a test. We're trying to see what gets a better reaction, and we're gonna keep changing the offer.
So you're trying to decide which better between wind mitigation versus AC filter.
Yep. We just didn't want it to be about roofing. We wanted to be about, hey, we're in your community. We care. You know,
And plus it's branding. You're there,
it's branding.
They see that you're actively doing something.
Right.
I hate printing.
I do know we never run out of paper. It knows when we're low. The guys are here. It knows when it needs to be serviced.
Oh, so it's one of those deals.
Yeah, so
huge.
It saves us on before we used to have our own printers and yeah, we never run out of paper now this way.
Do you think you'll ever be able to switch to paperless method of operation?
I'm hoping.
I hate paper.
Right now, for half of our building departments now are now online, but we still got to print, scan it, and upload it.
Yeah.
So it's not digitally signed yet, but I think we're going that direction.
Sure.
You know, so yeah, I would hate to get, I'll show you when we go to our permit section how thick our permits are here. The Miami-Dade approvals and the NOAs, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. How long have you been with the Rodney Webb?
I did the whole university, me and two of my sales guys, we went through it. We did it. Couldn't get the support I was hoping. I wanted them to come here, and he's just too busy, too booked. And my goal is now, when I get a sales manager full time, to get back in the university and do it.
Got it.
Yeah, in the meantime, I do roofing school, I do Sky Diamonds. I mean, I get something out of it all. I'll find a nugget in all of them, you know? And then we take and we customize it for what works best with us.
How many customers do you have walking in here? I'm sorry, what was your name?
It's Alex.
Alex? Alex, how many customers you have walking in? Like, roofing companies don't have a lot of traffic.
No, not at all. Well, we haven't invited them yet because we're still fixing it up.
Sure.
But that's what we're trying to change, you know? Used to be, you could go to the tile manufacturers and they have a showroom and the people would go down there and pick out their tile.
Sure.
That's why we built that. No, come on down. We have that set up. Let's pick out your tile color. You know, and then it just, hopefully we're hoping the place impresses them enough and adds validity and they know who they're dealing with, and you know, we're here in the community.
Look at this. Even on my worst days, I'm killing it. I want to talk to this guy. So what do you do? What's your name and what you do?
Jacob. Been with Allphase for about 3 years now, and take care of all the permitting, a lot of operational type stuff, inspections, work with production a lot, but yeah, mainly
Jacob is killing it on his worst days because he does permits. How long does it take to pull a permit in Florida?
in Florida. I mean, it ranges from a month, a week, a month, 3 months. It really depends what city you're working in, size of the job, what kind of job it is. But yeah, anywhere from probably like a week to 3 months.
Why your folders are so thick?
Because Florida.
Because Florida.
Go.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not really familiar with outside of the state how code is there, but I've been told we have the strictest code in the country. And that's why we have. I mean, these, I'll be honest.
And you have your own even printer here. So they
Yeah.
have a huge printer there for everybody else and just one printer for permitting department.
These are honestly on the smaller end. A lot of these jobs will sometimes be, a couple inches of documents.
So you cut and treat day here yourself.
I mean, every time I call them, they want 2 copies of this, all this stuff. They're slowly going online, but it's a slow process.
But you still have to print everything and scan it and upload
Yeah.
it to go
They want
online.
original signatures, they want highlighted stuff, this and that. So yeah, it's a lot of paperwork.
What's the trickiest with the permits that with inspections? How often you don't pass inspection?
So it's funny because inspectors, you have Florida building code and then you have inspectors building code. And when I say inspectors building code, they have their own little nuances for how they want to see things done. And so you could be positive you have something correct, and if he doesn't agree, they'll fail you. So it's knowing code, one, and understanding that these guys kind of make their own rules once in a while and navigating that. So it's tricky, but if you know your building code and you know what you're doing is correct, it's usually not a big headache, but
Interesting.
yeah.
What's your secret to success to killing the worst days?
Don't take no for an answer when it comes to these building departments. You got to stay on top, keep calling them, but yeah. I mean,
How often do you
persistence.
hear no, and what kind of no's? I mean, if there are 30, they can tell you no.
Because they usually tell you no, but they don't know why they're telling you no. So you got to question the building departments, and
Jake pretty much knows the code inside out because he's been doing it long enough. And a lot of the times they'll fail an inspection and put a reason down. And he'd be like, "That's wrong." And he'll have to call them and say and speak to their supervisor and be like, "Look, here's the code. This is how we did it." And they're like, "Okay, you're right." And they'll go in the system and they'll pass us.
So you
We've had that
will
happen.
tell building inspector that he is wrong.
it's been done, yeah. And like I said, there a lot of these guys have been doing it for 30 years. As much as you'd think they keep up with the code, they don't. And yeah, it happens.
No, here
more-
comes the Jake.
more times than not.
Jake is like superhero, badass, and the permanent
I
department.
mean, these last 3 months, it's happened quite a bit because the code changed as of January. The inspectors don't know the changes.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm actually going this afternoon to brush up on more
That's where he's going now, to a code
education
class.
for code changes, yeah. And you'd think these guys would do it too, but
They
it
don't.
doesn't seem like they do. Yeah.
Love it. You have a badass permit guy. Nice to meet you,
It's a
Jake.
very important job,
Oh, yeah?
especially in Florida.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. A lot of roofers. I wonder how they do it, like chucking the trucks, because they don't know they call it either. So now you have a building,
They hide. They hide from the inspectors.
they hide from it. But if inspector tells them they don't pass, they go, essentially, think about this, like if inspector don't know, tells you to do it the wrong way, essentially, you agree to do it, you fix it per his code,
Right.
which is outdated, so now you both are compliant with his interpretation of code. It's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, in Florida now, which we always used to sell as an upgrade, just a typical shingle roof. Now you either got to do double underlayment, or an underlayment and a ice and water shield. If you're Broward County South, which we are here, you can't go direct to the deck. If you're Palm Beach, you can put ice and water shield direct to the deck. I mean, so you got to know each individual building department too and the little nuances. So
Wow.
it's there's a lot that goes into roofing in Florida. If you can roof in Florida, you can roof anywhere.
Director of Unnecessary and Special Projects. All right.
That's me.
What do you do?
Well, Dan Bonder with All Phase now a year. Actually, I think it's been a year and 2 weeks. Actually.
Happy anniversary.
Yeah, it is. I handle the production manager. Basically, I do all the quality, safety, scheduling, customer resolution, customer contact.
So you're the reason he fails inspections.
Correct. Correct. I like to blame him at least because he didn't tell me. Yeah, I'm out in the field a lot. I actually work also as a project manager.
Question for you, something that we get a lot of roofing insights. How do you keep your crews accountable? Because especially brand new crews, they're gonna do a superior job on the first job, and then usually the second one quality drops down.
I'd say with our crews, we keep in constant contact with them. I get them to work with me because they want to work with me. I'm always I'm out there, I'm on the roof with them. When I show up to a job, it's not like panic mode. It's always the same thing. They like when I come in there because they're constantly doing their job.
How do you keep their quality checked on, say, a tile job?
We'll go out there and they know it. They've learned to it. We'll get on the roof and we'll break tile randomly here, over there.
And it better be the right size foam. If it's not, tear it off, guys. Do it again.
And we do hold them accountable for it. And it's happened before,
So they know, it depends on how much tile we have at the job too. If we have a lot of extra tile, break more tiles. We can replace it because, the biggest cutting cost that roofers in South Florida cheat is the size of the foam patty, which affects the uplift in a hurricane. So guys know we have to, at the end of our jobs, get a third-party independent engineer to do an uplift test. Guys will cheat and put a little dab of foam at the end, knowing it'll pass that test, but they don't put the full patty under the tile. And it'll save a lot of money on foam for those guys, but it's costing us and it's not installed the way it should be. The inspectors come up, in progress inspection, they'll watch the guy shoot about 3 or 4 patties of foam, make sure it's the right size, and they leave. Well, what happens when the guy leaves? If we're not there to watch him, they cheat. So it's just our standard practice. They know when we get up there, hey guys, don't take it personal, we're breaking tiles and we're checking it. So, and God forbid, if one's ever not the right size, tear it off, do it again. So it's happened maybe once or twice and then never happens again. Jeez, that,
and we reference the whole sentence, hold them accountable. I've more recently fired a crew. Day 6, and that was probably 6 days too many for them. We constantly always tell them, give them direction. And I guess based on their inexperience, you figure you give them a chance and you kind of bomb,
Chris, I have a question about crews in Florida being licensed. What's leverage you have over crews? Because in the rest of the country, your subs don't have to be licensed. Here, they have to be licensed. So technically, they're your competition because they're licensed with the state.
no, they don't have to be licensed.
They have to work comp.
They have to have their general liability and they have to have their own workers' comp.
But they don't have to be
They don't have
licensed
to
at
have a
all.
license. They can work under a job
But
as
with
a
the work comp, it's a huge expense too.
Yes. So most of the guys don't meet our qualifications.
Sure.
We don't accept a PEO. They can't be leased employees. They need to have a standalone workers' comp policy. And you know, we learned a lot of jobs and a lot of things happened the hard way, that now we take their policy, I send it to my insurance agent. Hey, do they make the cut? No. And he'll say, we need this, this, this. He'll tell them the changes. If they make the changes, they're now insured to work for us. I told you I like to learn things the hard way. I hired a sub crew. I got a certificate of insurance. I thought I'm good, right? Lo and behold, this was, I was out of the country. Guy opens the roof, leaves Friday night, left it open, it poured rain. So it's first time, last time it ever happened to me too, thank goodness. I put in an insurance claim, $60,000 in damages. It was handyman insurance. He wasn't qualified to be on a roof.
Wow.
I thought because I had a certificate of insurance, I'm covered. His insurance denied it, said, no, you shouldn't have been on the roof anyways. My insurance didn't want to pay. I chose not to put it through insurance. I ate it out of my pocket. I fixed everything. I made her, that's my best reference today, that customer. It went from cussing me out to threatening to punching me in the face to, I told her, I said, this is the difference between a good contractor and a bad contractor. You're gonna end up being my best reference. You watch. And today she is now. You know, we did. It cost a lot of money, but I made it right. I fixed it. And ever since then, you know, we want to see the policy language. A certificate of insurance means nothing if they're not covered to be on a roof.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Expensive. Expensive
But
lesson.
out of 100 crews, how many will have insurance that you require?
Handful.
Yeah, it's, you know, there's
We have a lot of cases where a lot of them come in here and, you know, want to work with us. And as soon as we start asking for paperwork, we never see them again. So
that happens every week.
And I don't want to entertain them too much, you know?
Paperwork comes first.
Yeah.
We put an ad out. We got 3 guys that came in last week, and it was all the same company name, 3 different crews, didn't know each other. So we're like, all right, somebody's out there letting them pay them to use their company and their insurance. So we knew it was no good, you know?
Wow. I have a rule. Never arm wrestle guys who comes to work with the protein shakes.
I don't want to tell you how long that's been sitting there.
Guys, if you're watching this, if you're looking for a good company to work for, All Phase is hiring. I was telling him we're building huge listing on our roofinginsiders.com, kind of like classify ads for people who are hiring and looking for jobs, because I found that so many guys are looking for work and they just cannot find a good company because you work for one guy who doesn't pay a bill, whatever goes under, you know, not organized. I mean, you go to another, and so you see sales guys travel from company to company. Sometimes they're the problem, but sometimes the company is the problem. So it's not easy to match good employees with the good employers. What's happening here? Is this her office?
This is their office. I thought I was going to be smarter than most people. I hear a lot of roofers talk about work-life balance. So I thought, you know, when Zoya and I met 6 years ago, I told her, listen, I'm passionate about what I do, but I work a lot of hours. The only way I can see this working is if you come work a lot of hours with me. So I was still trying to work on that work-life balance, but at least we're together all day.
How come this is the most impressive office? Was it here when you bought a building, or was it the first one who got furnished and invested in?
Now,
This was here.
this was here. This was all custom and built in. So, and I decided
Who is the boss in this company?
I'm the silent boss.
Silent boss.
I didn't want to be that accessible to the front door so people could just beeline in.
How is it working with your husband in the business?
Challenging and rewarding at the same time. So
Do you bring it at home?
Oh, all we talk about is work. Work. She has to tell me, hey, let's not talk about work right now. Let's talk about us. I'm guilty at that. I admit it. I know I'm a workaholic, but I enjoy it. But she helps ground me.
I don't mind hard work at all.
So what do you do? What's your role?
Master of none, jack of all. I do the books. I build the website, which I've not worked on in a little bit. I do the invoicing for the customers, payroll, credit cards.
Would you say you do too much? Too many hats?
I do, because then I don't feel like I complete one or give everything that I know I can, you know, because I have literally 20 tabs open at any given time that I'm working. So my attention's not just one department.
Must be hard.
it's challenging.
Where, you know, like I said, because of your conferences and things like that, we didn't have systems 4 or 5 years ago. We thought we knew what we were doing, and you know, when you start talking about processes, and then getting your whole team to change and accept it, and some people didn't. Some people aren't with us anymore because they wouldn't, you know, and so, you know, we always feel like, okay, we're not gonna still have to work 60 hours a week forever, you know, and we were there, I think, last year, and we were doing really good. And then I decided to buy a building and start a solar division and a metal division. So we're back at it now, but you know,
we're constantly changing, and we have processes and we keep refining them. But it's the challenge I think that we face is getting everyone on the same page.
What is this? You're printing receipts?
No, just when if I have a report to put to make sure and I have to turn it into his mom, you know, I'll have all my numbers.
Your mom works?
Yeah.
So my mother was a CFO of 75 at one time to $200 million construction company.
Oh, wow.
Villages.
I was trying to get it for the last 15 years, couldn't do it. She finally retired there. And because I brought my father out of retirement to help with the metal, because that's his background, she committed to give us a year, and he committed to give us a year to help develop and build that business.
She's taught me everything I know on the QuickBooks part.
Wow.
So she oversees what I do. And now that she's here more full time, it will eventually alleviate some of what I do. So I can focus on things that I'm better at.
Bullshit protector.
Oh yeah, it's like for people to put that over their ears.
Love it. You probably need it a lot.
Oh yeah. And just stay away from me. I don't want to hear any of that stuff.
He asked a question out there earlier to Dan, but it's probably more for you because you're the one that collects everyone's insurance and stuff. The subs in Florida. How is the insurance coverage and the policies?
Oh, it's just, I mean, we've learned a hard lesson on that before when there's too many cooks in the kitchen, right? Everyone, then one person is expecting someone else to do it. So I kind of find it, you know, down to like, okay, I'll handle it for now. And you make sure, and it's just so difficult, or they're not insured properly. And it's challenging.
What's the percentage of guys that come in here that want to work as a sub, that their paperwork is legitimate?
Out of 100?
Out of 100.
20%.
20%? So
20 to
80%.
30.
So 80%, 70% cannot even qualify to work for you.
Or they've paired up, aligned themselves with a licensed contractor. They're going under their license, their insurance, but they have a deal, like they get that qualifier gets a percentage of their pay, you know, so it's out of my hands, you know, as long as I have the proper documentation to protect us.
Well, and plus we're, you know, with our policy that we carry now, our umbrella policy, we can put an insured sub on a job and we're still covered. And that is, we do pay more for that, but that is part of what we share with our customers also, because most people, it's on our local news all the time, hire a licensed contractor, check the insurance, you know, so that we do pay a lot more for insurance than most companies, but it doesn't matter if someone's right off a boat and even illegal, so they get hurt on that property, our insurance covers it.
Well, nice to meet you. You are kind of a big deal here.
This is all our project managers. We've slowly got them switching to Job Nimbus and doing it from there. We used to use magnet boards. We used to have many more boards depending on what type of
This is so
system we're
much
doing.
more cooler. So you have just one computer.
One little computer, and we put it up there. This is more for me, and then I can ask the guys, you know, like, hey, what's going on? What is this one? What's that one? And then they know the jobs,
I like it.
you know, and then we're trying to bring on more quality project
This looks
managers.
so much better than this.
Yes.
I mean, nothing wrong with this, but you have to print, you have to wear that one. It's just plug in really quick, everybody sees it. This is modern. This is,
Yeah, and that's all we're trying to do is recreate that in there, you know, and, and it makes it better for us. So,
nicely done, nicely done.
thank you. Moving on, this is where our metal division guys work out of. This will be my father. Louis, who runs all our metal machines, he's back there in the shop now. They're constantly talking, so they get their own little quiet room. It's better for us.
See like a lot of details. production.
Yeah, a lot of processes and everything planned out, very detailed. So they're doing that.
Looks like architect office.
This is our future gym.
Oh, this is my kind of setup.
I committed to the employees when Bitcoin hit 75,000. I buy all the gym equipment. We're going to convert this into a shower, locker room, and we're going to get some rowing machine, an elliptical, a treadmill, universal machine,
now we have it on camera
dumbbells.
too. 75,000 Bitcoin.
Now we're
It'll be a
invested
good
in it.
gym. You have tall ceiling, you have a shower.
Yeah, we're going to
Make
do
it
the mirror.
CrossFit, man. CrossFit.
Well, I'm thinking of it. I've never done the CrossFit. I was always just a gym guy and stuff. But yeah,
Make sure you install good rubber
the
floors.
mats. Yep.
Like rubber floors.
Yep.
Tractor Supply. They have
thick mats.
3/4 rubber, 4x6 sheets. It's like $45-$50. All the CrossFit gyms across the country, they have that's kind of floors they have.
So we have our local hockey rink here. We
Nice.
did the roof for them. I already have it planned, getting it from him.
Nice.
Because they walk on the skates with it.
Wow. Yep. That's the stuff.
This is our future lounge. I want to bring in a pool table. I want to bring in nice couches, TVs for Thursday night football. We have what we do here called Thursday night role play. And that's all we do is role play. We usually have some beer and pizza and we have fun. So I figured I want it to be a place where the sales guys want to hang out. I want it to be a fun place to work. I want it to be where everyone gets along, everyone's helping each other. Sometimes, having a beer with the guys, that's when some of the greatest ideas come out.
Yep.
So I do want it to be a place where, people want to stay. And, and I want them to look forward to that. Not all guys like role play, but at least if they're having fun, they'll be here. So
Hey,
that's
Chloe.
the goal.
I think she likes me now. Chloe. Hey, look at you. We're friends now. So cute. Is she always like that, or is it like you have to trim her this way?
we cut her like once a month. Zoya will do it every couple of weeks and then take her to a professional groomer every now and then.
Very cool.
So this just enters I'm probably gonna make that a wall. I like shuffleboard. So we're gonna make this a shuffleboard table down here.
I see.
So I was gonna close that off to the gym and then this will be entered through my office, which,
Oh, this is your office.
Yeah.
I see.
so I have plans. I want a bigger desk. I'm probably gonna do a little private area here. That's Rodney Webb's book.
Yeah. Hey, can you do this standing?
Never tried stand. Yeah, I probably could though.
Try.
I
I want to see it.
standing,
It's a
so
challenge.
feet against the wall or
Oh, it doesn't matter. You don't have to.
just like it.
Yep, all the way. That's a core right there. Look at that. Can you do that?
Is that a CrossFit thing?
No, it's just a fit.
I felt it too. It feels good.
Yeah, you feel
I never did it standing. We had for the longest time all the guys. We started at
lower
10.
back hurts.
Yeah, I made everyone do 10. Then the next day we did 11. We built up. We had guys doing 100 at a time at one point.
Of the
And then
knees?
we kind of stopped. Yeah, off the knees though.
Yeah.
I like that way better. That's stronger.
Of the knees is for the girls.
This is
Look at this. This is trading days.
this
right
is
here.
from the trading days. still.
I can tell. You were not kidding.
So
Oh,
I
look at that.
so I like
Now he's
to
just showing off.
well no, but like company cam, all of our guys know no matter what. I don't care where the job is. Every hour they got to at least take some photos so I can sit here and see what's going on in the jobs. Juan's out on a job now. I wanted you to meet him, but we even video our job safety analysis for the job. What's the specific job site safety that should be done on this job? And we make them commit to it on video, and it goes in the folder on company cam. Even doing proposals, it helps. I can put up an eagle view. You look at it. I don't have to shuffle around. I just feel like I'm much more productive on this.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
They
so-
say that 2 screens will make it 50% more productive. 6 screens is like 600%. It's impressive.
It's more to take in. It's more to watch. I'm currently studying to get the actual solar contractor license. So I try to commit myself
How hard is that?
to do an hour a day. Considering I failed it the first time, very hard.
Really?
I didn't know I had to know the whole electrical code too, which I didn't. I've already installed a bunch of solar systems, so I was like, I can do this, no problem.
So do you require to have solar license to install solar? Like what?
To pull a, well, I'm
for the
a GC also, so
I see.
I could, but if you have the solar contractor license, you're allowed to do all the electrical and run the wires from the panels and that too. You just can't do the connection. You still need an electrician for that.
Got it.
And that's probably next now that I'm studying the electrical code, so I figure I might as well get that next.
So you're gonna become electrician?
Just so I can hook up the solar. Yes, and pull that permit.
Oh. Talking about changing of trades.
I
of
honestly believe that if you're a roofer, 3 to 5 years from now, and you can't offer a solar and a roof, you're going to lose it to the guy that does.
Yep,
I think that's the way the industry is going.
I can see that.
There's government incentives for it that are getting better and better. You know, this new Green Deal that's being pushed, everybody's about going green. Miami, if you do any new construction there now, they wrote it into the code. 25% of it's got to be solar now. So
Wow.
I just see it coming.
So you're literally gonna become electrician.
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
How long does it take? Like, what do you have to study? How much harder is it than to get Florida roofing license?
I got the GC license, I got the roofing license. I found the solar much more difficult. Like I took it the first time, I failed. I didn't know I had to know all the electrical and the inside out. It's not just solar.
You don't
There's-
have to have experience for that. You know how to become electrician or plumber, you have to have like journeyman. Like your
If you're a GC, kind of trumps everything.
oh, really.
It's considered higher up anyway. So
Yep.
as a GC, I can do it and I qualify. I can go take any test in Florida now I want. So.
I see a warehouse, man.
Yep.
It's my favorite room in the house. Warehouse. All right.
So you can see we're just planning everything. We always try to plan. We got a business plan. This will eventually be a ticket order desk. The guy will work out of there because we're going to be
Just like you have it at Home Depots and
Yep,
stuff.
yep. Because we're going to be we make our own metal, we make custom metal, and we're growing. Our roll formers are on the way. We got the break and shear in now. This is already, just by having this, I've had this 2 months, and I've already closed jobs specifically because of this.
How much this cost?
I think the two together about 300,000.
300,000.
Yeah.
300,000 investment, and you just do it's metal shop essentially.
Yep.
I love how you utilize those cages.
So this was left with the building. I think they're old carpet racks or something, even though this was an
Perfect.
HVAC company. But yeah, we're utilizing
I
it.
like it.
Online.
How much metal do you do?
So we're fairly new at it. We've installed a bunch of standing seam metal roofs, things like that we ordered from each other, or from other suppliers. Have you ever been to the Florida Keys?
Yes.
You see anything other than a metal roof there?
No.
Used to be shingle roofs, used to be tile roofs. They made it the code that if you replace the roof, doesn't matter what you had before, it has to be metal. And it's for uplift and for wind and everything else. Oakland Park, which is a little municipality in Fort Lauderdale, has to be metal. Doesn't matter if you had shingles, doesn't matter if you had
Tile.
It's metal.
So why is that? Like CD believes in that metal is a superior to it.
For uplift, we're the
For
high
up-
velocity hurricane zone. That's where we are.
So nobody buys asphalt manufacturer promises of 130 miles an hour.
But we every storm get 170, 180,
Well, they say
200 gusts.
they say 150. Like
Right. So, yeah, I mean that's lower. If you go up the intercoastal, all the beautiful homes, the last 3 years I've seen the change. People replace their roof. It's a metal roof now. Everyone's going metal. That market is growing and growing and growing. So, from a solar standpoint, I like it better because you're clamping onto the seams.
Yes.
You're not putting penetrations in the roof, which is why I feel both markets are taking off very fast. Just based on when I was supposed to have my roll formers and can't get them because the backlog that these guys are telling me of metal machines that have to service the whole country. And talking to the sales rep, all the new orders they're getting, it seems like everybody's going to metal.
well, metal is the fastest growing category period in the roofing industry out of
Right.
all products.
Yep. So with our code change this year for a shingle roof, if you got to now do a 30 pound or synthetic, we don't really use some synthetic in South Florida, and then you do the full ice and water shield on the complete roof to get the insurance discount. This is the rumor. Insurance companies now, after 10 years, for insurance purposes, are going to go to cash value for a roof.
Okay.
But right now, with
They're
the-
already pushing.
they're
right
pushing.
Now.
They're pushing. I was the first guy 10 years ago installing hurricane windows and doors, telling people don't install hurricane shutters. And I was going to all of the insurance conferences, and it made sense to me. If you and I live in an apartment complex and I have hurricane windows and you have shutters, there's a storm coming and you're out of town, and you don't put your shutters up, guess what? Our whole roof's coming off together because you didn't put your shutters up. So insurance companies started raising prices, even if you had shutters, but we're giving you discounts if you had hurricane windows and doors. So now I see roofing doing the same thing. Now, if you don't have a sealed deck and you don't have ice and water shield under the whole roof in our state, they're giving major discounts for that. And if you don't do it, some of them won't insure you now, they're saying. So to me, by the time you do all that for a shingle roof, you're better off doing metal. It's gonna come out around the same price. So at some point, shingle and metal are gonna converge price-wise in our
At
state.
least for Florida, yeah.
Right, in our market, yeah. And it's because of the uplift in the hurricane wind zone. You know, we probably do different clip spacing than everyone else, you know, every 6 inches, you know, just for that and for that reason. And we got engineered calculations on the uplift. So it's just a natural progression for me to get into metal. I've seen the writing on the wall. I believe it's going to be more, and what I think solar is going to do, it makes more sense putting solar on a metal roof. That machine can even do this. That's a bunch of different little individual bends. So it looks like it's round, but it's actually bent. There's a bigger one here, just to
So
show it.
cool. Yeah, I see it. It's little ribs. Wow.
Yeah.
Very impressive.
So we used to buy all our drip edge, everything from the supplier. We're going to make it all ourselves now. All the stuff we're going to need for the metal roofs anyways, this is still, these machines are helping us with our shingle roofs, our tile roofs.
You didn't gutters too here?
We're just getting ready to. Yes.
Why why not a seamless machine? Why do?
It's right there.
Oh,
Brand new?
that's from there?
Nope. This is just showing like if we had to do it over a doorway or something,
yeah,
we could
yeah.
make it.
And different profile. I get it.
This, actually, believe it or not, was a gift.
From who?
Supplier.
Wow.
And
For
another-
buying too much?
Another contractor ordered it a year ago, never picked it up. He says, it's sitting here, I've already wrote it off. Could you use it? I said, yeah, if you send it over, I'll use it.
Wow.
Gives him the opportunity to sell me more coils. Yeah, so we're getting ready now to add our gutter division. Actually, if you look in our production board, we're waiting on a bunch of payments. Why? Because everyone else is saying all the roofers, the gutters aren't done. Let's say you're the project manager, and this is more for our commercial roofing, not residential roofing. I don't care what it is. You got something coming out of the roof, you need a special penetration, anything, a coping cap. You give me any type of drawing with a measurement, he can make it. So we've pre-programmed a bunch of our shapes that we know we're going to use all the time, but we still, you know, can do anything custom. What's a metal you use on a roof?
We call it flashing by design. So when
Counter flashing?
Well, when wall meets a roof, like goes under siding, it's pretty much. Can I write here?
Draw it and give me a measurement. Louis, right here.
Is that a wall flashing?
It goes, yeah, it's like wall. So you have a step flashing under it. So I just need this piece.
So you just want this.
Yeah.
What's the measurement? Give them the measurements of each piece.
Do 3. I think we'll do like 3/4. This is the 2-inch. This is for siding.
Yep.
Because in Minnesota we have to have 2-inch of the shingles.
Gotcha. And we do stucco here in Florida.
Yeah,
so we
baby.
make.
So that piece.
All right, you
and-
see what he's got here? Dimitri, right here, 24 gauge, 26 gauge. You want aluminum, you want copper, doesn't matter.
Sure.
We put it in there. Perfect. All right, can we make that? Here, you can do it out of this so you don't have to use a whole piece. So it's just like a sample. Father's actually redesigning the machine even to where we can make it go out the back and we're gonna turn it so the guy doesn't have to bend over all the way and pick it up. and the computer's telling him how to rotate it over there on the screen. There you go. Is that what you wanted?
Yep.
3 inches, 3/4, 3/4, and 2 inches.
That was very impressive. That's unbelievable. We use actually a lot of this. So in Minnesota, we call it flashing by design. It goes on top where roof meets siding. We needed 2 inches of distance between siding, especially if you use something like James Hardy or LP.
Right.
You cannot touch because of the snow load. And when we install a piece like this, step flashing goes under. And then siding goes like inside, and it's nice, clean. I mean, this is impressive. You did it this fast. Wow.
You know, like this.
How much are these tables online that we were going to buy?
Yeah, it costs 5 piece.
5,000.
5,000 feet.
We ordered the steel, he welded it, he built it
And then I just
for less than $1,000.
Now you can be in table building business.
Well, and the hockey rink roof we put on, I ordered the puck board from him, fiberglass. He ordered it for me and he's giving me a deal, and I'm throwing in the maintenance on the roof this year.
Wow.
And so this will be fiberglass top, so our metal will slide easier. So we're trying to be
It's killing it.
resourceful. He came from a manual brake, so he loves this machine. That's a job right now, that's all aluminum, right? Because that's going to be on the ocean. So it needed to be aluminum so it doesn't rust. So, you know, versus ABC taking a couple of weeks to get it for us, we just made it. We have aluminum flat stock and make it. Cool. When you're back next year, we've already looked it up online. This is going to be, I don't know how, it's not a conveyor system. It's going to be a stack system. You hit the button, I need 26 gauge copper. This will grab your copper, bring it down and slide it out. So we're big on automation. I give my father credit for that. We're going to automate. The less people you have, the less air. So we want to do that. That's our future conveyor system.
Yep, all the food.
Yeah, so it's going to look very different if you come back here a year from now.
I like your custom rack for ladders. You build that?
That was a rack that was left in the building
Okay.
when we bought it. So we took this rack off this way and said, all right, we'll keep the ladders in there. I already ordered a side loader. So we're going to be able to maximize our space. If we need to do more racks in the future, which we will, you know, we got one of those side loaders that we'll be able to go down sideways, pick it out, and go, versus having to turn a forklift around.
Canada flag and United States flag.
I'm Canadian.
You're Canadian?
I'm originally from Canada.
Born?
Born. Yeah. I moved from Vancouver, British Columbia to Gainesville, Georgia in the 8th grade. I spoke English, they spoke English, we couldn't understand each other.
Wow.